So this is a remote control for the Alienware 55-inch OLED monitor that Alienware Australia were nice enough to send us out. Now originally the plan was to put it here, in this room for streaming and editing and whatnot. But it is too big. While we have like a 3-4 meter desk, it's too big for this room for my purposes. So it doesn't work with streaming because where do I put my webcam? Miles above my head. Where does my microphone arm come around the screen? It blocks most of the monitor. My face lights didn't work. It wasn't ideal for this room. So who is it for? Someone probably with a lot more space, or as this little remote suggests, probably in a living room situation. So we moved it out of here, which means we didn't use it with the desktop, chucked it in the living room. So it's more of a console gaming monitor. Though I have been editing a lot of photos lately, just like for fun, like little family photos of me and my wife in stupid situations, like guest ghosts for Halloween, in video game related things. And I don't always want to be in here doing that, depending on the day's nice to open up the windows and go out in the living room and edit. So I'll set a dining room table on my Alienware laptop, not sponsored, bought it myself, or I can hook it up to the monitor and work in there if I want. So I'm still using it as like a computer monitor, but mostly it's used as a TV or for consoles. I'm pointing to the floor because the PlayStation 5 is on the floor. Yeah, you can't see it, but it's there. So it's more of a console gaming monitor, for me at least, that's convenient for me. So I have used the Xbox One, the PS4, the Switch, the Xbox Series S, and the PS5. The PS5 more recently, the Series S for the last week or so. And since it is a gaming monitor, the response time is supposed to be under half a millisecond. And with the new Series S having input delay of about 2 milliseconds or less, it's probably the fastest gaming I will get on a console in my living room for a while. So I've been playing a lot of like Marvel's Avengers, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, more recently with the PS5 rocking up Miles Morales' Spider-Man game. And they all look really good. Like there is no blurring, there is no smearing. It's all just almost pixel perfect because of that response time. Now, as I keep waving this around, we have been using it a lot as a TV to watch movies and stuff. Usually when you buy a TV, it comes with a bunch of crap put on it to be like, oh, look how good the frame rate is now. We've added extra frames to your thing. You switch all that stuff off because it just ruins the experience. Where this doesn't really have any of that stuff because it doesn't need it. It does have like a smart HDR function, so depending on what you are doing, if you are gaming or watching a movie, you can change the HDR. Most of the time we just left it in the gaming side of things. But when it comes to HDR, when it's black, it's black. Like the black is so good that when we're watching a movie and it fades to black, we don't know if the monitor went off or if it was supposed to happen until stuff continues. It's like, that's what I get most excited about, is the black level. But when it comes to the white side of the spectrum, it's quite a dull monitor. It doesn't light up your room. It's not super bright. You got your blacks, which are really good, and then your whites just aren't quite getting very high. So it's all right for watching movies. I mean, it's still the best screen we have in the house. But at the same time, it feels a little outdated since it doesn't have HDMI 2.1. which the new consoles come with. So it's not going to be doing 4K at 120 frames, so it already feels like it's a little bit behind. Plus, it doesn't really mesh with our like network of systems we've got going. Usually I turn the Xbox on, the sound system will come on, and the screen will come on. We can control the screen with Google and everything else. This, we can't do anything like that. Like, it doesn't just jam with everything that we used to with a TV, because it's not a TV. Though it's built like a TV, it has a remote control, but it's not as convenient as our actual TV. The thing is really heavy. Like I can't carry it by myself. I have to get someone to help me. So when we moved into here and used it for a bit, I was like, all right, I have to wait till someone's available to move it back out of there and be like, all right, put it, leave it, that's done. Then to get to the cables, it has like a magnetic backing. There's a couple of HDMIs and USBs. It's like a USB hub. So if you're using it with a desktop, you just have stuff plugging into it, but it's not easy to get to. You got to take off this magnetic backing, and then because the thing's so big, you got to try and get in there, and it's in like a little channel, and then it's just not convenient to plug the stuff in, and then you've got to bend the cords to get out and then put the back on. Not the best of things, though at first glance it kind of seems like, oh wow, that's great. practicality, it's not ideal for me personally, as someone who's always plugging in, changing HDMIs, putting in capture cards and stuff. There is a HDMI on the side, which is the one we're always plugging out and putting things in, putting in like the Chromecast, putting in the PS5, putting in the Xboxes, but it's on the side, so it sticks out the side of the screen. And we have cats, and they just like why is that cable just hanging out so high up in the air? I better go and chew it. And you're like, don't chew that. I'm trying to watch The Crown, goddammit. So I have this weird like love-hate relationship with this monitor. I love it because it's the best screen we have, but I wouldn't buy one. I would try and get an actual TV to use, or ideally, because it is a monitor and it was meant to be used in here as a monitor, I would get an actual smaller, easier, more convenient monitor for this room that is 4K and does have a good response time, which is really the shining feature of this monitor for its size. But if you're Mr. Moneybags and looking to buy one, feel free to ask any questions. If you have one, I'd love to see what you think of the monitor. Do you agree with me? Maybe it's just my setup it doesn't mesh into. Maybe you've got the perfect setup where you've got the space for it and are using it for like editing or playing games, or even both at the same time. I mean, I don't know. It's possible. You've got the real estate on the screen to do it. But thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful.